All right, guys. Let's start off. Check the grade book for any missing work. I know I harp on this a lot, but a lot of you guys have been in and out for sports and whatnot. So make sure you check your grade book. Jacob this morning came in and showed me something I graded, and it didn't make it to the grade book. That happens. So make sure that you double check. When you get into your grades, literally click on them and see your scores. Make sure the scores I'm putting in are the right scores. I try to do my best, but it doesn't always happen, right, Jacob? And he was on it. So quiz tomorrow. The Kahoot that we're going to do today is like an awesome way to prepare for the quiz. I posted it to the classroom, so it's on there, so you can go to the Google Classroom, check it out. If you come here in the morning and you want to take it in the morning to get ready, I'll be here early tomorrow. Come on down. Okay, I had a bunch of kids come in today, so I'll make sure that I'm here tomorrow as well. As well as if you wanted to come during lunch tomorrow, because you guys at the end of the day, you could do it then as well. Today, we're just, basically looking at answering, can I answer the related questions from the Investigation 2 material, which are all about adding and subtracting negatives. Place the following numbers on the number line. Talk to your partner. Seven eighths. Can someone tell me what they know about 7/8? Ax.
It's close to 1.
It's almost 1, right? 8/8 would make that 1. So put it close to 1. And then I would come up and then put your 7/8. Make sure you label that point. 5, pretty easy. 5. But the idea is that my scale should be pretty accurate to you. I want a pretty accurate scale. Not perfect, but accurate. So I got that one, I got that one. Opposite of -3. Orlando, what's that? Positive 3. Opposite of -6/3. David? 2. Because -6/3 would be 2. That's an improper fraction, right? 3 goes into 6 2 times. That's where the 2 comes from. It's negative, so it stays negative. The opposite makes it positive. -4, pretty easy. And then 1.5, halfway in between. I'm done the first part of the warm-up. Talk to your partner about showing on a number line. Go. Okay, let's look up here. So this tells me I'm going to start here. That first number is what I start with. Then it says add -5. When I add negatives, I become more negative. So this is going to become more negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I end at -13. Thank you. Any questions about the warm-up for today? Okay. Go ahead and pull out your homework for the week. For the weekend, sorry. Weekend. Does anyone have, would anyone like me to use their homework? Did I use yours last time?
I
Can't remember. I want to try to use someone new. Thought I might, but I can't remember. Okay. This is a great opportunity to do really well when your homework gets shared. Okay.
Can I stay on now?
I want to stay for this. Oh, yes.
Did it crash?
No. All right.
The parents
This is
were
what I'd like you guys. This is what I'd like you to do. I want you to read question 1, question 2, and question 3, and then look at your vocabulary box and ask yourself, do I have all the words from the questions that are mathematical in that box? Go. Question 1, question 2, question 3.
What kind of cable are you using connected to the computer?
If you don't have them, can you add them?
Yes. You don't have them, add them. Okay. So this is what you will mark down the homework that you've been doing during lunch tomorrow. Because I can't do it right now because I got to do this. Is that okay, Anthony? I'll write it down so I don't forget. Okay. So, okay. So it says, what algorithm? Right off the bat, what word should I have in here? David. Algorithm. I should have algorithm in here. It's in the first question. Produce correct result for the difference. What should I have? What mathematical word should I put in? Taya? Algorithm. Yeah, we said that one. Difference. Rational number. Those all should be in here. So that's where I would go to Orlando's. I'd write down rational number, difference. I don't see it up there yet. And algorithm. Question 2. We have algorithm already. Do we have the word sum? No, let's add it. Man, we're making it sweet. Do you already have it? Oh, right there, we already had it. Rational number, we already added that. What does it mean to say that an operation is commutative? What should we add? Commutative.
I didn't do this, so can I please go get caught up?
Oh, just wait. And operation. So do you guys see where I pulled my vocab from? Yeah, I pulled it from the questions. Okay. So that's where that vocabulary brainstorm is super helpful. Because we know that those are words I should be using. Let's go down. We're going to, I've already provided in the answer here, the restatement and the for example. I'm looking, he already has an illustration. Boom, there's his point for that. He's already restated and the for example, there's a point there. So now we have to look at his mathematical vocabulary. And we need to look at, did he answer the question? An algorithm that will produce the correct result for the sum a plus b using rational numbers is a negative plus a positive equals a negative. And you can tell this negative is bigger than that positive. Okay, that makes sense. Since subtracting a positive from a negative is like a tiny negative. Okay, are we subtracting a positive or are we adding a positive to a negative? Adding a positive, so you want to fix that, right? Because what it should say is numbers is that, then since adding a smaller positive to a larger negative in absolute value, because we know that negatives are never bigger than positives, right? But in absolute value, they can be. So we know since, and we're going to change this, since adding, because that's what he's doing here, adding a positive, and what kind of positive is this? Smaller positive from a larger, or to a larger negative in absolute value, it is like a tiny negative. Yeah. The word he's adding, right? What word should he use to talk about his result? Sum. So he should say, is like a tiny negative sum. Does that make sense, Orlando? Because that's what you're talking about. This negative is your sum, right? It's that answer right there. So down here he has, for example, negative 8 plus 6. Okay, he has a larger negative, smaller positive in absolute value terms. Great job. He's matching what he said up top. Because I have to keep change, so I'm changing it to negative 8 minus negative 6. Okay, that works. Equals negative 2 still. When subtracting a negative, you go right on the number line. He's got that. Any questions about what he did? Okay, so we took it. It was maybe like a 2.5. Now it's a solid 4. He's got mathematical vocabulary. His example answers the question. This is what you have to do right now. With your partner, check their number 3. Switch it. Check their number 3. Do the same process we just did with Orlando's. Switch with James. You switch with Clayton. Clayton, come on up. Switch with Jakob. Check your partner. A what? Permanent marker? Oh, I can do that.
My partner didn't do his, so how would I know?
Hey, Babinski, you know you have homework every night, man. That's a great question. What should you do? Well, have me check yours at least. And you can assist. Write your name on the inside of that back cover, Jess. Okay.
Good.
Now we're good to go. Is that yours? Hey, Maya. Boom. I got one for you to check.
If they don't have something, you just add it to them.
If they don't have it, I wouldn't add it. I would tell them what they should have.
Do you want me to team up on Kahoot since she hasn't done it?
Yeah. She won't have a login and all that kind of stuff. I don't have any of that for her.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you already check each other? Check his. Check his. No. You don't have a partner either? Axel? Have Orlando check yours. You guys checking each other? Make sure you tell him how he can make that better so he earns all 4 points.
Oh, yeah. It's to say.
Okay, any questions about that? Everyone who did their homework, okay, did the reflection, you earned yourself a bonus point. Tomorrow I'm going to collect those. I have your bonus points. Okay, so if you miss one part, you're going to get that bonus point. So that'll be sweet. So thank you. I appreciate that for you guys doing it. Because part of the reason why I'm having you guys do it and then review it is I want to get better at this. I really want you guys to improve at how to respond to a mathematical question. Because we're not, right now, like, when I went around and looked, we're mostly around like maybe 2 out of 4 points. So we're not that great at it yet. Come on up, grab a computer. Kahoo! You need to log in as a famous person.
Oh, a famous person?
Yeah, that's your Kahoot name.
Oh, wow.
So log into Kahoot. You can click on. You can go to Kahoot It.
I don't even like
Or you click on play. Your username must be someone famous. Like Riley.
Yeah.
Riley Campbell.
Everybody put them.
You guys, only one person can put his name down.
Okay, I'm putting it down. Wait,
Anybody famous?
Can it be like a famous person that's like not real?
What?
Like,
Yes.
something.
Like a cartoon? Yeah, sure.
Like a famous. Okay, fine. Shake.
Whoops, I need to go back. No. Look at all my Kahoots. Look at them.
What's the game?
It's almost there. I guess I was super close.
I'm creating a rhythm.
Do we just look up Kahoot?
Go to Kahoot, and then you either go to Kahoot It, or Kahoot, and then if you go to regular Kahoot, you click play.
I'm so confused.
But Kahoot It is by far the easiest way to get there. Uh-huh. In the club.
Oh, okay. Wow.
You know, when you're going to get older and you're going to be like, you guys got some Kahoot? Because, man, I can just jam out right now.
I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna say that. Do we just log in?
I'm not allowed to go to the club.
What are you doing?
I'm not allowed to go to the nightclub.
Haven't you done this?
Oh my god.
No. Go back.
Who's that?
And then you click play. Play. Kahoot it. Go down. 1. Yes.
Jeffy? Jeff?
No, someone took SpongeBob. Oh.
Man, all this stuff opens up when you've done it first time.
Mario?
Yes.
Who put Jeff?
It's up there.
That's me. I should have done the lead.
Who's Anna Blue?
You didn't have a computer. Did that
What are
earlier.
you doing now?
I'm
Yeah.
And a bunch of other
He's one of the Fab Five that committed suicide. Oh, wow.
Wow. Wait, what? That's something to look up.
517?
Yep.
Well, they wrote about, their lyrics and what they write about, it's like unbelievable. They're incredible musicians, but obviously dealt with some big demons.
What's the dog?
The only one that's still alive from all
No, it was on like YouTube or something.
Oh yeah, Cornell, man. He could bell, he could go low, he goes high.
Catholic Mario, Captain. All of you guys stole all of you guys stole Mario.
Catholic Mario.
Right now, are we allowed to change our name to None of the dogs?
Yes. Press backspace.
You gotta get a new computer, Ben. Jacob, get a new
My
computer.
name is not Ben. What?
Jacob. Come on, I can't wait too much longer, guys, because it takes about 20 minutes.
What is he from? Dude, the Marshmallow Man is from the Marshmallow Man?
Axel, hurry.
Man of the dog. An actual person.
The dog, the dog that always gets
Little Mac.
That was you, wasn't it?
But now Patrick Mario.
Yes, SpongeBob right there.
Man of the dog?
That's me.
That's not
You know the
famous.
dog that gets left out as Peter Pan?
That's not famous. No, sorry.
What dog not in the game is Harley?
Squidward. Squidward. Emma Watson.
What's your name?
Is that you?
I mean,
Do you like that series? Patrick! Who's Patrick? Oh, SpongeBob. Are you in yet? What is it saying? Okay, join Ben. We gotta get going.
Hold on.
You're almost there, Jacob? All right. Here we go. What?
Okay, I'm good.
Was there, Axel?
Oh, I should watch Donald Trump.
Nobody put that.
Okay. Anyone who gets over 11,000 points gets a homework pass. Now listen. You get bonus points for getting streaks right. Not quick, fast is minimal, but streaks are worth more. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Kahoot. Which statement is equivalent to you?
Think about keep, change.
Wait, I didn't even get time to read. I can't.
It's up top.
Let me see that.
We have a Swivl.
Think about keep, change.
I could tell Nancy, man.
I'm going to.
Can I sit here? Warren's gone again.
Nice. So the idea is if you're adding a negative, right? So I'm adding a negative, that's the same as subtracting a positive. Boom.
Who's Donald Trump?
Here we go.
I'm second.
Stephen Hawkins. I know who that is.
What?
It is negative 0.9.
It's the same thing.
I turned the lights or something.
Yeah, it's right.
Thanks. You could probably read it on your own. Turn off the lights or something because it doesn't show up on our screen right
First place.
So, hey, I was listening to what Jessica said. 0.9,
Yeah.
right? That's in the tenths. So if I was to make that a fraction,
Yeah.
and because it's negative, that's negative. All right. Donnie. That is negative 5 halves.
I was the first to answer. I'm literally having a panic attack.
I did.
Oh, what's equal?
That is definitely equal. 5 halves is an improper fraction. How many times is 2 going to 5? 2.5 times. And because it's negative, so is the fraction.
I knew it.
Whoa. Luigi.
We gotta get someone in cartoon.
Make sure you guys think about negative numbers.
That time I did think about it more. And I was still the first to answer.
Wait, what?
Think about negative numbers and how they work with 0 on the negative side, about being greater, smaller.
What?
So, hey,
What's the negative?
I figured you guys were answering so fast. So look, you got to remember that negative 14 is further from 0. That makes it smaller. Smaller. Right? Anything closer to 0 is going to be greater.
This is less than 34 sometimes.
No. This, if I was to take and put this in, it would be negative 14 is less than that. If I was to put this in, it says negative 14 is greater than that.
Oh, I get it now.
You read it. You read it the way that it's written.
Yes.
Cornell, remember, take your time. You want to get 11,000. Be in a hurry. Which one is greater? Remember what I just said about negatives.
Every time you answer, you feel like
Yes!
I got it.
There we go. That, okay.
I'm third place.
Which one is, it shouldn't say less, it should say least. The least. So which one is the least? Remember negative. Yeah! Woo! Nice class.
I'm 95 points behind the person that's in front of me.
Which one is the greatest? Now it's all mixed up. Oh boy. You know 2 are automatically gone.
Yeah.
I feel like you're not the smart. I'm in fourth place.
So, why is this the greatest? Well, this is negative.
Yeah.
So that can't, that's not bigger than any positive. That's not bigger than any positive. Okay? 6/10. That's less than 1. Okay? 12/6 is more than 1. It's 2.
Yes.
Think about keep change. Yeah, it should be. It's hard. Nice, guys. So if you think about keep, change, change, you know that anytime you subtract the negative, it's like adding a positive. As soon as you see it like this, you're like, oh, this is much easier. That's why rewriting subtraction as addition is way, way easy. Our just minds think that way. Nice work.
Yeah.
Luigi, 3 in a row, back in the game. Equivalent expression means it equals the same thing. Now, all these equal. So you need to think about keep, change, change. So it can't be this, because adding a negative is like subtracting a positive. That was a hard one. 5 more.
Leah, which one are you?
I know. I'm Lil. I accidentally clicked triangle. I think I might have clicked triangle. I tried to click Oh, it was right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the distance.
Yeah, 360.9.
Keep, change, change. Subtracting negative is like. No, wow, we are all over the board.
I chose the lowest one. I chose one.
No, are you?
The negative one.
It can't be -1 because the positive 7 is greater than the negative, so it must be a positive answer.
9.
Just by looking at it, you should be like, okay, what's my answer going to be, positive or negative?
Wait a second. Shoot.
Shoot.
There we go. Better.
Oh. How am I still in for Catholic?
See you talking, closing in, I'm 4
I have a
now.
streak of 9. Why is it not showing me? I have a streak of 1.
You get the bonuses on the streaks. Bam!
Everybody got it right.
Nice. Wow, we got a couple more people. They're gonna have to crush it to get into the boat to get a homework pass.
But I do love homework. I know that is fast. Okay.
Yeah, I'm white.
Nice. Ooh.
Yeah, Donald Trump.
I'm 6 points behind you. What about me? Nobody cares about me.
Here we go. Whoa. Hawkins, Cornell, Macman. This is close.
Yeah, I haven't even.
Here we go. Last one.
Those people are like 14,000. I'm like 5,000. This is the last one. I need to beat y'all.
Yeah, I'm a pure genius.
I'm like, were you too fast?
Can we do this again?
I got it right.
Can we do it again?
I want.
Little
I
Mac.
clicked on that. Wait,
Okay.
what was my score?
So those are the results.
Well, I lost, so I give.
Oh, on a blue, so close. Is that you guys? Oh, so close to 11,000. Okay, so those four, Little Mac, Liam, come on up. Rest of you, put away your computers.
I don't need no.
I don't need no stinking testing. Stephen Hawkins, is that Axel?
Yep. Last time I got like last place. Last time I got like last time I got
More pass, more pass. Chris Cornell is.
I got over 11,000. And I'm like, choice.
Really rough, right?
I was so close to beating Annie Blue. Who's Anna Blue?
Was it you? No, I'm on
Who's Anna
Okay,
Blue?
please get your planners out. Here's your exit and your homework. So, test tomorrow, study Kahoot on the classroom. Binder check tomorrow. Make sure your binder is organized. If you want to know some of the things that should be in it, here's all of our learning. Right? You should have your warm-up, your old warm-up and exit tickets, your new one. You should have your test from Investigation 1. That should be in there, and resources. You should have a few of the resources papers. Your homework. Okay, that should be in there. And then fix your reflection paper. Okay, those of you that missed out on math vocab, this is your chance. Go back and fix it. You should be talking about rational numbers. You should be using the word sum. You should be using the word community property when talking about the community property. And then, super hard exit ticket. James, you can do this, dude. I know you got this.
I don't know.
Dude, you can do it. K-A-H. I don't know how many O's there are. Oh, no.
There's 8.
All right, guys, have a good night.